Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. We've got your top NFL player prop bets for Thursday Night Football's contest. In Week 11, we've got an NFC East showdown. First place on the line as the Philadelphia Eagles host the Washington Commanders. Tyler, last week on Thursday Night Football, we actually had a pretty good showdown. Unfortunately for our picks, we were just 1-2 in our picks. Your pick, though, cashed for us, Chase Brown, on a day that was like all the overs cashed except for the one I chose, of course. Why does that always happen to me? All right, well, we're going to get back after it today. We're using the PropsAI tool in the LineStar app to help us find the best value in the prop market. I can't even believe it is week 11 right now. We're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a wild one. Before the show, Tyler and I were just talking about the Thanksgiving games, and boy, oh boy, are the first two ones not good games, but we've got one to look forward to. Hope you like your family. Hope you like Thanksgiving. And you know what? Can I just make a hot take about Thanksgiving right here?
No.
Turkey sucks, okay? Turkey is not good. I'm just saying. I don't love turkey. The sides are the best, though. Like stuffing probably is number one. Then you got mashed potatoes. You got a power rankings for your sides there for Thanksgiving or what?
Stuffing's top for sure.
Let us know what your top 5 power rankings for Thanksgiving sides are in the comments, because a comment enters you into our prop bets contest, whereby if we go 3 for 3, one randomly selected commenter will win $60. Basically, we put our picks on an entry, just send it on Underdog, and if we win, we give out the winnings of that pick to a randomly selected commenter, just as a thank you. You know, it's Thanksgiving. We're thankful for all of your support here on the LineStar YouTube channel. So do us a huge favor to enter that contest. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. You are in it to win it. Also, our picks are available on Underdog, Sleeper, CHALKBOARD, and ParlayPlay. And if you'd like, download those apps. But the key is use the promo code LineStar so you get a nice deposit match plus 1 free month of LineStar. And I love this matchup here in the NFC East we've got going. I feel like the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles always play some crazy game. Last season, they had a couple, I think it was an overtime game in week 4 that got crazy. And this year, I'm excited to see Jayden Daniels going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are coming off a big win over Dallas, which I don't know if that's saying that much this year, to be quite honest with you, Tyler. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. Meanwhile, the Commanders coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but looking to bounce back on a short week here Thursday night. Let's get into our top player picks. The first pick is going to be a PropsAI LineStar App pick. Check it out, LineStarApp.com. It's basically a tool that compares LineStar's projections to what's out there in the prop market. So we're going to roll with that one here. We're actually starting off with the Commanders quarterback under 226.5 passing yards. LineStar's projection is 221. The consensus is 217. And in fact, Jayden Daniels has been only averaging 214.7 per game this year and has actually been under in almost half of his games, 4 of 9. We're excluding the game where he was injured versus the Panthers, but going up against a pretty good pass defense in the Eagles. They rank 7th in pass defense DVOA, and they're actually top 10 in EPA per pass play allowed. So Jayden Daniels, I think the value here is to the under in this game, especially given the fact that Brian Robinson, their running back, could be back in the lineup in this one, in which case they could lean a little bit more on that run game and their star running back there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Daniels has been better away than he has been at home. He's averaging 229 win away, but Eagles second on our team defense tool versus quarterback. McLaurin, Noah Brown have very tough matchups. Both are bottom 10 for our wide receivers on the team defense tool. And if you take those guys out, I just don't think Eckler, Ertz, the wide receiver 3 and 4 being McCaffrey and De'Ami Brown, can get Daniels high enough to get the over here. The other thing is that it's just a low volume passing team. So he's only averaging 26 attempts per game, and that's just not very likely to get over against a good pass D.
Yeah. All right. One thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show, I was so busy. I got a little derailed talking about Thanksgiving dinner, and I didn't talk about the injury report going into this one. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. But we still like that under on Jayden Daniels. But taking a look at the injury report here. Now, we're doing this early, but there are some significant players that are on the injury report. So I think it's super important to kind of circle back here to our injury report here, because on Monday, 9 players for Washington were limited or did not practice. And that included Marshawn Lattimore. He did not practice with a hamstring injury, and Brian Robinson was listed as limited, hoping to be back this week, but they will know more on Wednesday when he goes through more of a like full strength kind of a workout. And they also have a couple O linemen banged up, but just limited. Now on the Eagles side of things, linebacker Nakobe Dean, Dallas Goedert, their tight end, with an ankle injury. Cornerback Darius Slay with an ankle injury. Had a season low 40% of the snaps versus the Cowboys, but that was kind of a blowout, so I feel like he would have played had they needed him to. Wide receiver Devontae Smith is dealing with a hamstring injury. All of those players are just limited, and that's an estimation on Tuesday's walkthrough. So important to note all of those things, as I got a little carried away at the top of the show, forgot to mention it, but those are all really important factors in this one. And we even thought about holding off taping for another day until we got more information, given that a lot of those guys are, big time players in this one. But we think we're going to roll ahead and give out our picks because I think we got some good ones here. So, Tyler, why don't you give me your pick in this Thursday night contest?
I'm going to go with Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert over 31.5 receiving yards. Our LineStar projections just a little bit over, but he's averaging 54 yards per game. Washington's allowing 39.5 to the tight end. They are very average versus the tight end, but I think it is a spot that they can definitely exploit. Now, Goedert is questionable. He came into last week recovering from an injury. Then he got hurt last week, but he did come back into the game. He had a little ankle injury. He came back after that. So I think he's going to be still a full go, and he's averaging 39.5 yards per game at home this season. So that's well above our 31.5 line, and let's take it and roll the over.
All right. For mine, I'm also going to an Eagles pass catcher. And you'd think after the week that Georgia had against Ole Miss, I wouldn't be picking former Ole Miss wide receiver A.J. Brown. But I have to do it. That's what the numbers are telling me this week, Tyler. That's how you know I'm serious about this pick. I'm kind of going against my Bulldogs here a little bit. But over 81.5 receiving yards, I think that number is too low for someone like A.J. Brown in this kind of a matchup. LineStar's projection here, worth noting, I am going against LineStar here, so take that as you will, but Brown's averaging 92 receiving yards per game, and he has taken a blowtorch to this Washington defense in years past. I know it's a little different here with Dan Quinn in the mix, but he had 175 receiving yards and 130 in both games last year. Washington ranks 29th in pass defense DVOA versus wide receiver ones. There was a reason that they went out and had to go get Marshawn Lattimore, who we know might not even be playing in this contest. So I like the spot here, especially given how we saw George Pickens fare last week in the Pittsburgh game against Washington. I think A.J. Brown is even better of a wide receiver than George Pickens, and I think this is a great matchup for him going up against maybe Marshawn Lattimore. But even if Marshawn Lattimore is playing, consider the fact that he got 97 receiving yards against him back in 2022 when he was with the Saints, or when Lattimore was with the Saints and he was with Gardner Minshew was the one tossing him the ball there at quarterback. Also, Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, you mentioned on the injury report in this one. If either of those are at all questionable or shaky in this one, that's more volume to my guy A.J. Brown. So that is why I am liking the over on A.J. Brown's receiving yards here, over 81.5 receiving yards. So let's go ahead, put all those on an entry on Underdog. You can tail us there if you'd like, or fade us, do what you got to do. But use the promo code LineStar when you first download Underdog so you can get a nice deposit match plus 1 free month of the LineStar app. And again, remember to enter into our prop bets contest. If we go 3 for 3, we're giving out $60 to a randomly selected commenter. So you like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. It helps us out in the good old YouTube algorithm, but it also helps you out. Hopefully we can win you some money this week and have a little redemption after last Thursday night's 1 and 2 performance. Let's move on to our touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, where are you headed for an anytime touchdown this Thursday night NFC East showdown?
Look, I don't like the anytime touchdown lines right now. So what I'm doing is I'm going with the most likely, trying to give some people a membership for LineStar. Reminder, these touchdown calls do go on our Twitter, and if you guys get lucky, you could win 1 month of LineStar. All right, so I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. Washington's 29th versus RB1 over the last 10 games. They're allowing 1 touchdown a game. And why not go with the guy that is just doing it week in and week out? I think you told me that he has 3 of the top 10 fastest rushes this year.
Yeah, fastest speed by a ball carrier this year. 3 of the top 10 performances. It's just wild how unbelievably fast he is.
Hey, it's just crazy to see like the re-emergence of him. He just got re-energized from leaving New York.
Yeah, I mean, the backwards hurdle, just insane. Love what the quad father is doing with Philadelphia, and I hope he finds the end zone in this one. For my pick, I'm going to A.J. Brown in this one, plus 130. 3 touchdowns on the year, but going up against this Washington Commanders defense that ranks 29th in pass defense, DVOA versus wide receiver ones. We saw George Pickens, the wide receiver one for the Steelers, get a touchdown last week. I think it's A.J. Brown's turn. Also, Washington, their red zone scoring 30th is what they rank right now. So I think A.J. Brown can take it to the house in this one. At home in Philadelphia, A.J. Brown plus 130 for an anytime touchdown. Tyler, I'm like you. When I was looking at the board here, I was like, not a lot of plus money props here for touchdowns. I mean, the one I like to go to when I'm looking at the Eagles is Jalen Hurts, but there's not much value on there when you're talking about.
No, there's not.
For your buck.
Brown was the one that I was thinking about if I didn't just say, screw it, let's go Barkley.
I guess if you were trying to get crazy with it, you could maybe get a little bit better value by doing like a Saquon touchdown and a Jalen Hurts touchdown. I don't think that's that out of the realm of possibility, but in fact, I've seen a couple parlays where that's the case. But for me, I'm kind of just staying away from that just because I kind of want to get a little bit more value on my touchdown calls here. And so we'll go with A.J. Brown there. I think he could get one. He has 3 on the year. He got some in the first few games. He hasn't been targeted as much in the red zone, but hasn't really been needed that much given especially like the last game. So that's who I've got for my touchdown call. And looking at the overall game, we've got Philadelphia as 3.5 point favorites at home. How are you playing this one?
Man, Washington has been playing some solid football all season long. I get a side to the home team, though, if I'm going with a money line bet. I think 3 points is likely pretty good, though, and probably still side with the Eagles on that.
All right. Yep. I keep going back and forth in this. And I mean, I think just what you mentioned about Saquon Barkley, I think he's going to be very tough for this Washington Commanders team to contain. And I mean, just the amount of weapons that this Eagles team has right now, I've got to, as much as it pains me because I love Dan Quinn and everything that he's building there in Washington. And as far as, coaching decision makings, I don't know if I necessarily trust Nick Sirianni over there for what will probably be, I anticipate and hope, kind of a wild finish here. So you know what? I'm kind of talking myself into it as I mention it. I'm going to go with the Commanders in this one. Maybe I think they cover. That's all I'm going to do there. I'll just go against you. Just going against Tyler here. That's all I'm trying to do here. All right, so those are all of our picks. Remember to check out the LineStar app tool when you get a second. That PropsAI tool is what we've been using in our props to help us find the best value, comparing LineStar's projection to what's out there in the prop market. If you've got any locks for us this Thursday night, please drop them in the comments. We're just a community that's just trying to help each other out and beat the books, put together a winning ticket. So if you've got one, let us know in the comments. We're all trying to help each other out, so let's go crush it on this Thursday and get some money so we can order some pizza on Thanksgiving because turkey sucks. What do you think?
Oh, wow.
That's my hot take of the day.